If you're a sad broke kid like me, then you know how it can be a struggle getting money to buy those tickets to the concert of your favorite pop idols, or finding yourself wanting to buy something to support your groups. So your boy here today is gonna give you 10 tips on how you can start making some extra money and saving money for that next anticipated concert or merchandise drop. Even if you are younger than 18 and cannot work yet, there are still some tips here for you to start saving up some money. Just as it is never too late to start, it is never too early either. First tip is to start a fan page on major media platforms like Instagram or YouTube for something that interests you. Your goal is to gain a following, which will open up ways for you to make money. For example, once you have built up a following, you could receive paid sponsorships to feature a product, use affiliate marketing, or you can even use your page to advertise your own services or products. Now, of course, this may not happen to you at all, or it may take some time before you see any results, so this strategy should be more for the long term if you have time. Which you should have, since you're probably locked at home all day anyways. So, an example fan page could be on that is dedicated to your favorite pop group, or your favorite hobby of dancing. You can post content like thirst trap pictures of your idol, funny memes, or just short clips of an interesting moment. Tip number 2 may be a better option for those of you who want a more tangible way to make money. And that is to sell unwanted items in your house on eBay. These could be textbooks, jewelries, headphones, an extra copy of a K-pop album, or just anything that you don't really need. And if you just have a bunch of clothes that you want to sell, then it may be better for you to list them on Poshmark, which deals more with apparels. I have sold a lot of useless stuff in my house before, and made about a few $100s from eBay and Poshmark, so these are definitely ways to make a little extra cash. Next is tip number 3. Live with your parents. Like, seriously. If you are, congratulations, you can skip this part. But if you are not, and are instead renting somewhere, then you should really consider moving back in with your fam, because you can save so much on things like rent payment, groceries, and other little costs that you normally would not have to worry about before, but now you do, because your mind decided that you are independent enough, while your wallet is saying otherwise. And if your goal is to get a ticket to the next BTS concert, then paying over $1,000 a month living out ain't doing you any good, sis. Tip number 4 is to ask for money on your birthdays, or on gift exchanging holidays like Christmas. Instead of getting physical gifts, you could simply ask your friends and family to give them in the form of cash, or a nice electronic transfer to your bank account, if you have one. You can make your gift preferences known by either posting it publicly on your social media accounts, or in your group chats with your friends and family, just so you don't have to tell each person directly in person. I don't usually do this, but one of my friends does, and that is how she saves up some extra money to buy her K-pop albums and merchandise. Tip number 5 is to do freelance work online at websites like Fiverr. Especially if you guys have a skill like drawing a picture or writing an essay. You can sell all sorts of services like making memes, screaming your name into a bush, even helping someone explain why their horse is behaving a certain way. You get the point. Basically, if you can do something, there will be people who may pay you for that. And while Fiverr takes a small percentage of your earnings, there is almost no startup costs, and you can potentially be paid doing almost anything you can think of on the platform. A bonus tip to note is that if you design artworks, you can also sell them on Redbubble or Teespring. You basically upload your design on a t-shirt or product, and if someone likes it, they'll buy the item and you get paid. You do not worry about shipping the item or dealing with customer support. The companies do it all for you, and the only thing you need to worry about is creating. However, make sure you do not upload any copyrighted stuff. Now that you know some ways to make money, the following tips will be on how to save up money as you wait for your K-pop group to announce their next concert or merchandise drop. Next on the list is tip number 6. Don't spend needlessly. This means not spending on things like bubble tea, movie tickets, or eating out. Though not that many of you can do that anyways during this lockdown. Basically, the main point is that you need to be mindful of your spending and deciding for yourself whether what you are buying now is worth it or not. Is this purchase worth more than the K-pop concert ticket or item that you want to buy? If you think of it that way, it may help with that itchy desire to buy impulsively. And for those who have a spending problem, this may be a little difficult. But there is a trick that has worked for some people, which is to think about how many hours of wages you're spending on something. This puts into numerical perspective how much hard work you are giving up to buy something, which should make you less willing to spend that money on useless stuff. For example, if your hourly wage is $8 and a bubble tea costs $5, do you really want to be spending more than half of your hard work on that, when you can be saving that $5 for better things? Most people would think not, especially if they have something else that they are trying to save up for. Another trick is whenever you're feeling the urge to buy something that might not be necessary, give yourself a few days before you hit that checkout button. Usually, your impulse to buy will have passed, and you will have seen the light. In the end, you will be glad to have kept the money. Now, if you have to spend, then my tip number 7 is for you to try and use credit cards that give cash backs on your purchases. You can also sign up for rebates, or Rakuten as they're now called, where you can get up to 40% cash back depending on where you shop. So if you're buying something, you might as well get some small cash back savings in there whenever you can, since they can really add up over time. I do this a lot with all my online purchases, and over the course of 4 months, I managed to earn over $250 in cash back. That is pretty much free money for buying things that I already needed. Some credit cards may also offer. Another tip is to use a credit card with the lowest interest rate that you can find, preferably 0%. This is mainly for those who do not have the money saved up, but still want to buy concert tickets or merchandise drops that are happening right now. Through purchasing with a low-interest credit card, you can slowly pay back the money you owe without having it hurt your wallet too much, and still be able to get what you want. And if you cannot do that for any reason, or just do not want to deal with those credit card stuff, you can always try asking your parents for a one-time donation. I wish I did this more when I was younger, because I could probably have been a hundredaire by now. After all, you miss 100% of the shots you do not take, so thicken your skin and go ask. However, if you are still young enough to ask your parents for pocket change, then my tip number 8 is that you should still do it. For example, whenever your parents go shopping and they get change for their money, just ask them to give you that. It might not be a lot at the time, but once you save up to a certain amount, say $20, then you can ask your parents to exchange those coins and small dollars into bigger bills. Or if you have a bank account, you can easily deposit those savings at your local bank. Or if you do not have such an account, then you can perhaps try asking your parents to help you buy the merchandise online for you. On the other hand, if you are younger than 18 and want to buy a concert ticket, you should really get your parents' approval first, and have someone older with you. Safety comes first, y'all. And finally, if you are old enough to open a checking account, then for tip number 9, I would encourage you to also start a high-interest savings account. You can add some money into that account every month or so, from either your part-time work, or from any cash that you can find lying around your house. Now, with a savings account, you might not earn a lot from that, but hey, at the end of the day, $1 is still $1.